Hello my loves, welcome back. Today we are going to be doing a little Q&A about some frequently asked questions I get on my Instagram by all you lovelies. Basically just going to be a whole bunch of random questions about BPD. Please let me know in the comments if you have any other questions you would like to have answered. I will do my best to answer them. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Alright, so for the first question we got here, is BPD like genetic or do you develop it later in life? So BPD is actually thought to arise from a multiple combination of genetic, environmental, and psychological factors. Within the genetic part, there has been a lot of research suggesting that people with BPD, if they have someone in their life who also has someone with BPD, it can indicate a genetic predisposition. So therefore, someone who has a family member with BPD may be at a higher risk of developing it themselves. As for the environmental factors, that obviously it all depends on how you grew up in your childhood, where if there was neglect, instability, abuse, even certain stressors in your life can cause and trigger predisposition of BPD, like major transitions or just losses, death in the family, death in your life. Stress really takes a toll on the mind and the body. I wish people would realize that. Second question here, we got how to manage BPD. It really depends on which symptoms are mainly affecting your life and taking a toll and what really is just steering the boat right now. My biggest thing I love to recommend is dialectical behavioral therapy. That saved my life. I say that every single time I talk about it because it did. I don't know where I would be without it. I have a whole bunch of resources if you guys don't have access to therapy, or if y'all don't have insurance that could cover your therapy. I have resources in my Instagram bio and highlights that can give you your foot in the door to help self-healing. Next we got, how do you stop the chronic emptiness without substances? That is actually a wonderful question. It's a double-sided question because if you have someone in your life that brings you joy, I say focus on them. Spend time with them. Go out with them. You need a valid support system in your life that gives you the ability to want to get your mind off of that. Have your family members and spending time with them and your quality time be a distraction from the emptiness and that void that we can never run away from. That is something that has truly helped me. I have tons of nieces and nephews, and just being around them truly reminds me that I'm a human and I'm loved. Maybe I should stick around a little bit longer. Coping strategies when your favorite person goes on vacation / is away for a while. When your favorite person goes on vacation and you don't have that physical connection with them anymore, there are things that you guys can do, like FaceTime, letters. If you want, you could even make sure that he has certain clothes that he has, that his scent is warped in, that you can sleep in. Have little like reminders of him in the house while he's on vacation. Reassurance that he's going to be back always helps too. I try to lay that boundary every time with my favorite person / partner that, I need reassurance that you aren't going to leave me forever. Like, that's all I ask for is reassurance, please. How do you cope with life without a favorite person? I have heard from many borderlines that not having a favorite person can also give them a sense of focusing on themselves and bettering themselves, but it also causes them to feel a sense of emptiness, like that there's something, just like the piece inside of them is missing. Making sure that you have something else, like a support system or distractions, hobbies, that can actually like try and potentially take place of that. Because of course you can, love a hobby, love this more than you can an actual person. Instead of investing all of your time into that person, potentially you invest it into your business and get a bag. Who knows? Who knows? Someone asked, what are my daily DBT skills that I use to get through the day? My daily DBT skills that I use to get through the day are going to be TIP. I mainly use the temperature and paced breathing part of TIP. One thing I noticed, like my senses is always a good way to help calm me down. 5 senses. My favorite sense I like to use is my taste. I have actually right here a nice little container of sour gushers. As you can tell, they are halfway gone, but they are used for whenever I need to calm myself down, because whenever you eat sour candy, it's kind of like a shock to the brain. It's like your brain is literally rerouting itself the same way it is when you put ice cold water on your face, or if you rub ice cubes all over your face. That is the temperature part of tip. But they basically kind of give that same effect. So that's why I love eating the sour gummies, because you kind of get a little treat in the process too. Someone said, what are some common comorbidities with BPD? Autism, ADHD, eating disorders, anxiety, bipolar disorder is actually a high one too. Dissociative identity disorder. I did see a article saying how a lot of people who have DID actually may have BPD as well. I don't know how accurate that was. PTSD, CPTSD. Of course, you got other personality disorders as well, even substance use disorders. So yeah, those are, I think I hit the main ones. How to back away and handle yourself during splitting/explosive episodes. That actually is a very hard thing that I learned to do. It actually took so much practice and trial and error to actually get it. Obviously, I've left during like genuine conversations, and I shouldn't have done that, but I also at the same time was kind of doing like damage control, trying to make sure that nothing bad happened before it happened. Whenever I feel that anger is starting to course through my body, that or the fact that I can't hold my tongue, that's when I start to be like, all right, let me go fall back. Let me fall back. Let me go to my room for a second. Let me go chill. Let me go get myself a little snack, chew on some ice, because whenever I chew on ice, it always helps that anger, because obviously some people have sensitive teeth. I am an ice chewer. I freaking love ice. I will chew on ice whenever I'm angry because I can get that anger out in my jaw. So that's always helpful. And plus, the ice cold sensation is also a form of tip because it is calming you down. All right, someone says, I'm worried my roommate is becoming my favorite person or I'm falling for her. How do I not do that? So I will say one thing about favorite persons. It's basically a subconscious thing that our brain does that kind of forms the unhealthy codependent relationship. But I did notice that the person said that you're falling for her. There are two different things. Being unhealthily attached to this person and falling for them are two different things. So I would definitely try and see where you can make sure you know the difference for the two before you go and try and make any actions for it. Someone said, do I take pills for the BPD? Whoo, for the BPD. So I do take medication for my borderline personality disorder. I actually went from taking 8 medications in 2020 to now taking just 2 medications in 2024, almost 2025. That is awesome. Oh my gosh. Holy crap. But yeah, I used to take a whole bunch of medications because I was a mess when I was younger. But now, growing up and actually doing DBT and learning how to manage myself, and the fact that I've actually learned through a lot of experiences in actual like situations with other people, like what not to do. So I definitely think like lore and having it and getting through it can actually show you like, oh yeah, I got through this before and I handled it this way. Maybe was it poorly? Was it good? Can I do it again or should I avoid that this time? That's very like, you gotta dive in and think about that. Right now, the 2 medications that I take are Abilify and Effexor. Those are the 2 that I take. Effexor, oh my god, it has a grip on me. I don't know when I'm ever going to stop taking that because the withdrawals are intense, all right? They're intense. I hate it, but they're intense. I can't do nothing about it. All right, so then we got a question. How do you deal with the overwhelming guilt? This is something that I genuinely went through like when I first got diagnosed with BPD, because I thought it was my fault that this was happening and everything that I do is, just bad and I always mess everything up. So I was just guilty for existing. Like I just had like this like I've always just like felt guilty since like the ripe age of 9, and I don't know how to like get out of that stage. But one thing that has helped the guilt like lessen itself is realizing that BPD is not something that I caused on myself. It's the fact that the caregivers who were taking care of me and were supposed to protect me and were supposed to make sure that I had a nice, good life growing up failed me. I was failed as a child, and now I'm here to pick up the pieces of what has been thrown into this world because someone wasn't ready to have kids yet. With the guilt, I'm not at fault for what's happening in my brain. I can only control the reactions and my actions of what's going on in my brain. Although I can't reroute and change the actual wiring makeup of my brain, I can do my part to make sure that my actions are not hurting other people, things, or myself. Someone said, what year was it when you were at your lowest? I have multiple years I was at my lowest. 2016, 2018, and I even want to say 2021. Those 3 years were hell for me, and the main trauma that went on through those years are the trauma that I still deal with to this day, and I'm still trying to pick up the pieces from what happened. All right. Last question is, what is one thing you're looking forward to? One thing I'm looking forward to is seeing the recovery of all of my followers and seeing how better we all be as people and how we do it together in a sense of community and leadership, because it's more so self-care. Whenever you go on my Instagram and you read something, or you give someone advice, or you read someone's advice, it's a form of self-care in my opinion. So I think that's the biggest thing I'm looking forward to, is seeing all of us succeed. I think that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah, if you guys have any more questions, y'all know what to do. Leave them in the comments. But if y'all enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe. Y'all know what to do. Join the rain cloud. Thank y'all for watching. I love you. Mwah. Take care of yourself. You're the best person on this planet who knows yourself. So don't let your silly little brain tell you otherwise. Have a good one. I'll see you next time.